Mr. Rivers, Randy Smith, Charlotte River Show.
Thank you.
I'm here to do a safety audit on your vehicle, and I've also want to go over it. As you were driving into Temple Gate here, I noticed some safety violations that you were doing while you were driving in. If you will, I'd like to go over those items as I've wrote them on my safety audit. If you look here on my safety audit, you notice items that I've put down here. I noticed when you were coming in, when you were making your right-hand turn, you did not make a right-hand signal with your vehicle. That's a safety rule violation. And also, you were throwing trash from the vehicle. You were also going over 10 miles an hour, which a sign is posted outside the gate. 10 miles an hour is the speed limit. You also had some HB 1 violations, and I'd like to go over those with you also. You had HB 3, and employees driving company vehicles must comply with all traffic laws. HB 5, throwing anything from moving vehicles is prohibited. HB 13, employees of assigned vehicles, it is their responsibility for the operation, maintenance, and appearance. I notice you're inside of your cab, you have some housekeeping issues we need to go over in our safety audit. At this time, I'd also like to check all of your cabinets on your service vehicle. Before we do that, I'd also like to point out your fire extinguisher does not have a service tag on it when it has been inspected. And at this time, I'd like to start opening up the cabinet doors and looking at those and see what kind of condition they're in and the contents inside the cabinets.
Okay.
Mr. Rivers, I see you've got some dirty, oily rags. Those are potential fire hazards. Also, your tools inside your cabinet here, I noticed those are in disarray and need to be straightened out. Also, you see you've got a wrench that's out of place here and should be better located in your tool cabinet. Let's move down to cabinet 2. Here again, I see you also got some dirty oily rags that shouldn't be there. We've got some aerosol cans. The caps are missing. That is a safety rule violation. Also, I see you've got your vehicle owner's manual. Those should be in the cab glove box. That's also a safety rule, HB1, it's a rule violation. Also, I also checked your first aid kit, and many of the items in your first aid kit here are out of date, and those items will need to be replaced. As we move down to cabinet 3, I noticed your starting fluid doesn't have a cap on there. With this ether, that is definitely a potential fire hazard. As we know, caps on any type of aerosol can should always be on. We also noticed that you've got some trash and you've got some schematics. Those could actually be put in a better location, a more secure location, and also something that may be in a binder like you have some of the other books. You also have here your file. You've also got a file here that's missing a handle, and that file, of course, should be replaced, or at the very least that handle should be replaced on that file. As we go down to cabinet 4, I notice here again you've got gauges next to an aerosol can. That's another a couple of safety rule violations. You've also got open container of grease, and that grease has also contaminated your safety glasses and also contaminated your respirator here and also the respirator next to it. All of those items, of course, are costly and costing NS monies out of our budgets unnecessarily. You've also got some gloves here that are torn and also greasy and oily need to be replaced. And you've also got trash and other items in the cabinet that needs to be replaced. You've also got, I see in your other eyewear, you've got lenses that are going to have to be replaced, and also those should be protected. Mr. Rivers, in the bed of your truck, I'd also like to pass on to you that you've got an unimproved gas can. That should be a metal can. That should not be in the bed, of course. On your tanks, you don't have covers on your tanks. That's also a rule violation. Those should not be transported without the covers on there. You've also got numerous tripping hazards all in the area of the bed. Your chocks, when you got out of the vehicle, that's one of the first things you should have done, is put those chocks on your rear vehicle wheels. You've also got, again, oily and dirty rags and trash, and also the storage of your tools in general should be much better. You've also got a pry bar in the right-hand portion of your company bed that also the tip of it is broke. That tool should have been discarded and removed from service. You also have some more aerosol cans with no tops. In the very back of the bed, you'll also notice some more housekeeping issues that need to be looked after. And then at this time, I'd also like to go around the other side of your truck, and we'll go in through those cabinets and see what kind of condition those items are in. Mr. Rivers, now that we're on the other side of your vehicle, we'd like to also check your cabinets. And I noticed right off the start here, we have also some sharp edges on some of your tools here. Those could be situated in a better spot on your truck. You've got some items that are in disarray that need to be straightened up. You also have, here again, we also have some more oily rags in the corner of your cabinet here. Those need to be removed. Let's go on to our next cabinet. I see we have some more oily rags here and more trash and debris that needs to be removed. We also have a lot of our bins that need to be straightened up and things put in order. We also have some trash in the back of this compartment also that needs to be removed. Let's go on down to our next cabinet. I see you've got quite a bit of aerosol cans, which are potential hazards in themselves. Those are, of course, as I've said earlier, is a safety rule violation. I also noticed that looking at all of these the different aerosol cans that you have here, many of those are not standard items. If they're not a standard item, we need to get an MSDA sheet on those cans and have that placed in the General Supervisor office here at Birmingham. Make sure we have a sheet on hand as required. In our next cabinet, I see you've got this one pretty packed full of different valves and gauges, and on the other side of your truck you have one cabinet that has mainly schematics and prints and books, and it's about half empty. You probably would have been better off if you had removed about half of this material and moved it on the other side of the truck where you had better utilization of space. I noticed on your passenger side of your vehicle, here again we have a housekeeping issue. with different oily rags, coffee cups, cans. All of those items are potential hazards, especially as you got out of the vehicle when we started our safety audit. Those items rolled out, and those items can be very easily come under a foot and cause hazards as you're driving down the road trying to accelerate or use the clutch or the brake. I also like you to note that you've got looks to be some brake cleaner rolling around underneath here. That is highly flammable, and there again, you don't have the top on it any. So that's going to have to be taken care of also. And I also like to point out the general cleanliness of the seats and of the dash. You have way too many items on that dash. Actually, all of those items should be removed. Mr. Rivers, I've got the HB1 book that I brought here today, of course, with us. And we went over the general rules and regulations, items that need to be taken care of today that we've got on here on our safety audit. I've signed my signature, and I've got the items and defects listed here. If you will, sign here, and when that's completed, I'll make sure you get a copy of this safety audit. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Smith, Charlotte Runway Shop.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Smith.
I'm here to do a safety audit on your truck today. And if we can, I'd like to start out here with cabinet 1. I see you've got your miscellaneous books secure. New rags, charger looks secure. Let's walk down to your cabinet 2. Let's go there. Everything here looks nice and neat. Gloves are in good working order. Your socket drawer with miscellaneous sockets in it looks good. I don't have any exceptions to note on your hand tools. Extensions and drives are in excellent condition. Your cabinet 3 that has your miscellaneous connectors and fuses. All of that looks very neat, secure, well organized. Let's move down to our last cabinet. Eric, I see you've got your tops on your aerosol cans. That's great. But what about your jacks, Eric? Are they in good working condition?
Yes, sir.
Good. One of your drawers here. All your miscellaneous bolts Washers, nuts, well organized. Looks good. Eric, as we move around and look in the back of your truck bed, I noticed you following Rule 1360. I see you've got your caps on your bottles. That's great. Eric, have you checked your hoses lately?
Yes, sir.
Just remember Rule 1381, those have to be inspected prior to each use. Eric, what can you tell me about your handles on your sledgehammers? From appearance here, they look good. Do you have any problems with them?
No, sir.
Your bed seems to be well organized and neat. I see you've got everything secure. Eric, I see on your fire extinguisher, you've got it inspected. Eric, what can you tell me about your Liftmore crane? I noticed this morning, before we actually started the safety audit, you replaced the cable. What about your pendant control? Is it okay and operating like it should?
The yearly inspection. Inspect for everything.
Good. See, you've got it secure. That's good. I see in your next cabinet here, you've got your miscellaneous hand tools. Have any problems with those?
No, sir.
All those cords, everything looks good, nothing frailed. What about your slings? Have you inspected those lately?
Yes, for every use.
Good. As we move around to the next cabinet, everything looks good, Eric. Like you see right now, everything's well organized. See, you've got some spare grinding wheels here. I like the way you've got them in this plastic bag to keep the moisture out. That's good painting. Eric, let's move down to our last cabinet. Again, everything looks well organized. Your welding gloves look to be in good shape, as does your miscellaneous torch here. Let's look at these cabinets. All of your miscellaneous torch sliders and miscellaneous welding equipment looks to be in good shape, well organized. And what about your welder, Eric? Is it operating like it should?
Yes, sir.
Last, let's take a look at your cabin and see what kind of condition it's in. Eric, your cab looks good. You've got it clean. I don't see anything on the dash to obstruct your view. Eric, have you got your necessary papers in your glove box?
Yes, sir. On my truck. Everything from my truck's in the understeer in the dash.
Eric, at this time I'd like to conclude our safety audit, and I appreciate your help today.
All right. Thank you, man.
Thank you.